Buenas tardes. Today you're going to do a project that's going to demonstrate two of our learning targets. The first one is I can use adjectives to describe people and things. And the second one is I can use concordancia or agreement. And you're going to do that in the form of a Tagxedo. This is going to go into your quiz and project grade. So you want to make sure to do it well, do it on time, and do it correctly. So you're going to go to tagxedo.com, Tagxedo. No need to create an account or anything like that. Just simply hit create. Once you've got to their creator, you've got a couple options. The first thing you want to do is put in your text. What do you want your word cloud to say? So click load. Now, if you want to use this in the future, you can upload a file, or you can put the URL of a web page. So you could create a word cloud with the words that are found in those documents. We're going to just use something very simple. So I want you to put your name and 6 adjectives that describe you. You only need to use your first name. So I'm going to put my name, and I'm actually going to put my name a couple times because the more I write a word, the larger it's going to appear in my word cloud. Then I'm going to add 6 adjectives that describe me. So I could go with alta, rubia, let's do simpática, although that might be up for debate by you guys, I don't know. I'm going to make sure I spell it right. I'm going to use all my accents where appropriate. Let's see, that's 3. Let's go with ambiciosa, cómica, sorry, my keyboard's not cooperating. And we'll say graciosa. Okay, so I've got 6 adjectives. They're all singular, feminine, because that has concordancia with me. Looks good. I'm going to click submit. Now, anytime you're working with Tagxedo, you'll notice there's a bar at the bottom that shows you progress. That's what you need to look. So if you click submit and you're like, well, nothing's happening, well, you need to be a little patient, okay? So once that has loaded, you can see it behind there. I'll X out of there. And there's all my words. They're spelled correctly. I have my accents where appropriate. Looks great. But I don't want this format or these colors. So let's look at how we can change that. Now, this project should really only take you a couple minutes. Really not any longer than it's taking me to record this video right now. But you could spend as much time as you want formatting it. So the first thing you want to look at is the theme. Click the arrow next to the theme, and this is where you can choose a color theme. So let's say you chose these purples and oranges. Looks great. But I don't want this word to be an orange. So I'm going to hit color respin, and it's going to change them. But it's going to change them within the theme. If I want to change the theme completely, I can select another one with the arrow, or I can just hit respin theme. And it'll give me a brand new theme. Now, what if a theme looks great? I'm going to choose one I actually like, and that is the pink one, because I like pink. So there you have it. Okay? And I don't like this font, though. I can respin the font, and it'll kind of do it randomly. Takes a little bit. Or I can select a font from the list that they give me. So if you hit the arrow, it'll respin the font. If you hit this, it'll give you the list. The orientation. I can hit respin and it'll change it around for me. This is the orientation of the words themselves. So right now they're any direction. Upways, sideways, downways, whatever you want to call it. This is going to be the horizontal vertical one. That one's pretty cool. There's 4 options. Any, which is the one I started with. Horizontal, vertical, orthogonal. That's a new word for me. That's another option. Or you can make them all horizontal or all vertical, whichever you think looks the best. Now, as we're working through these first couple of features, you're going to notice that they're all the same shape. We're all looking at this world with the country missing out in the middle, right? Continent, rather, excuse me. So you play around with these respins. You can respin them all if you want just a random thing. That's cool. And the other thing that I would like you to maybe spend a little more time with is the shape. So click on this shape arrow, and I want you to select a shape that represents something about you. So maybe you're friendly or simpática, so you choose a hand. Or maybe you swim, so you choose a fish. Or whatever you might like to do. Personally, I like to travel, so I'm going to choose the airplane. I'm going to wait for it to reload, because it takes a bit. There you have it. And I can keep playing with these as much as I want, but I think that looks great. So what I'm going to do now is, you can play around with history, and that's going to show you the previous ones you've worked with. So if you accidentally click a button and you're like, oh, I wanted that, it's kind of like the undo, I guess. Word layout options is going to show how much emphasis you put on repeating the words and things like that. You don't really need to do anything with there unless you want to. So let's go to, now that I'm happy with my project, click on that one, I need to turn it in. So the way we're going to do this is you're going to hit Save Share. That's going to bring up all these options. If you want to print it and have access to a color printer, go ahead and hit the print button. Hit print, and that'd be great. And you can turn it in physically. If you do not have access to a color printer, or you have a printer but it's not color, something like that, go ahead and save it and send it to me. Save it as an image. What I would like you to do, though, is save it as a higher quality image up here on the right, because we're going to print these out full page. So I'm going to save it, and I'm going to save it with this. My last name, comma, Tagxedo. I'm going to say save. I made one earlier, so I'm just going to go ahead and replace it. And that is now saving to my documents folder. And then once I've successfully saved it, they're going to ask me to either contribute financially or contribute socially by sharing. You don't need to do any of that. That's fine. You can just say no thanks. Then you'll go to my documents or wherever it is you saved it. Open it. Make sure it looks good. Awesome. That looks fantastic, right? You'll notice on the words that have tildes on them that it doesn't really care for them. So while I should see the tilde there, like here comica at the top, it's not going to matter. Sometimes they'll replace it with other words, and that's okay. So once I've created that, you are going to, or once you've created it rather, you're going to email it to me if you need me to print it for you. If that is the case, you're going to use the subject line, your last name, Tagxedo. So that's going to be your subject line. You're going to attach the document and send it to me. You don't really need to say anything more than that, okay? But I need your last name and Tagxedo. If you do not submit it in this format, I'm going to send you an email back and say, please submit it correctly, okay? So that's really important for me in order for me to organize my emails and do everything I need to do efficiently. So last name, Tagxedo. That's the name of your document, and that is also the name of the email you're going to send me. If you do not email me, I'm going to assume you're printing it yourself, okay? So that's how you make a Tagxedo. That's how I want you to submit it for me. If you have any questions, let me know, and have fun with it. I want to see what you guys are all about. See you later.